What's up, SGDI family? My name is Yusuf Jai.
And I'm Shama Shazam, and we're the hosts of
SGDI Talks.
Now, you already know, before we get into the topic of hand today, we got a special guest, and we're going to introduce him first. So, can you tell him who you are?
What's going on? My name is Tristan Mason, 29 years old from North Philly. I'm an entrepreneur in my own brand called Live, Laugh, Love Philly.
Hey.
Live, laugh, love Philly.
Yes, sir.
And it's only fitting because the topic we got on hand today is the state of Philly. Well, this topic, I ain't gonna lie, this was near and dear to my heart because all of us being from Philly, we know the stigmas we gotta combat. Apparently, we come from troubled neighborhoods. There's a lot going on in the streets with the gang violence. There's so much to do, and it's hard to kind of find your way. So seeing you right now as a black, young, successful man, I just want to know, take me back. How did you find your way growing up to navigate to get to where you at right now?
I usually just like stay out the way. Like I see other people doing their thing. I'm not gonna say what they're doing is, just straight up evil or bad. Or whatever.
I feel you. Yeah.
Thing, I'm just like, okay, I see that.
But that's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good thing, just that identifying part. Because then the crazy part is, like, there's a lot of people who live outside of Philly that I connect with, and they ask me all the time, like, yo, how are you able to live in Philly?
Yeah.
Of course, they're only seeing, like, the worst parts of it on the news. And whatnot, but, like, pretty much kind of just what you just said. Like, I really stay out the way. Yeah, I'm just worried about business. I'm worried about, hosting and my clientele. I literally come home, rest, and then I'm right back out. Like, I know my neighbors be like, yo, what is this dude up to? Like, he's never home. For real. Yeah.
But to that point he made, though, I want to dive a little deeper. When you say stay out the way, because, Philly, I think Philly got his own culture. If you go somewhere else out of state where I've seen people, like, I could tell he from Philly. It's just something about the aura, like how we talk, how we dress. But with that, though, what did you do? Because most of the times when I hear that, people play sports maybe or do certain things that kept them away from the streets. But what was your way by staying out the way? Like, what was you doing? Was you just self-aware at a young age? Like, what were some of the things you mean by staying out the way?
Definitely self-awareness, but also, and it's gonna be hard to believe because how big I am.
Yeah.
I was dancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Like,
All right, let's talk about
Twinkle Toes.
it. Yo, that's crazy.
when I was in high school, I was like, I just love club music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would literally be on the bus, 6 in the morning. I see that meme with a ball. Party music.
Yeah.
Oh man, you was yourself. I can see that.
Wu-Tang on Scepter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was what I was known for. Just like, keep blasting party music, but
Yeah.
since I wasn't, doing what everybody else was doing in that box or that bubble,
Yeah.
it became like, yo, he real, like, why y'all listen to party music?
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing that at one point, and at one point it became, I guess, too bougie to dance.
Yeah.
So then everybody else started doing. Next thing you know, everybody else is doing our dances, the ones that we.
Yeah. And then even now, you see with the youngest, like the dance is what's still putting the city on the map in some aspects too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure. I definitely think that. So, like.
No problem.
Ready? So, like, you said earlier too that you're an entrepreneur, you have your own brand. Like, as far as being in Philly, I mean, your brand has Philly in it, right? So how do you feel like it's been received? Do you feel as though, like, it's been well received? You've been getting that support, and whether or not it has or hasn't been, like, what is your takeaway from it?
I definitely think the support is definitely positive.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's a positive brand.
Yeah.
Positive brand with a positive message.
Right.
Like, everybody always say, oh, Philly got to do better. My city needs something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this going to stop everything, but it's a start.
Yeah.
It's literally called Live, Laugh, Love Philly.
For sure.
And also, side note, I don't know if y'all remember, maybe all at that age, but, like, before iPhones came out, certain phones, they had that little signature at the bottom of their text messages and stuff. That's where it came from, Live, Laugh, Love.
Yeah.
So I remember that, and I was like,
Oh, damn, you just took me back.
Yeah.
2010.
That's crazy.
I remember my signature. I'm not gonna say it online.
I never had one, but I remember that one all the time because I know a lot of girls had. Not saying I know a lot of girls.
Casanova over here.
Well, not that, but a lot of girls I would text, they would have that Live, Laugh, Love signature.
Yeah.
So that stuck to me for a while.
Yeah, and I mean that's something that right now too our city needs. So
Yeah.
hats off to you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because in all that's going on, the violence, you know, the killings,
Yeah.
like it's ridiculous. Like we're nicknamed Philadelphia. Like this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like how many times we've beaten our record in homicides per year, you know, and it's wild. So definitely that positivity of live, laugh, love is imperative. Yeah, for
we
sure.
need it.
Absolutely. So now, speaking of like just violence in itself, like what is your take on, you know, like the gang violence that's been going on in Philadelphia? Like I just touched on as well. Like there's been a lot of homicides, like year in and year out. So like, what is your take on, you know, the homicides itself, and where would you say that some of that stems from?
I would say my take on it, it's just sad to see.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad
Sure.
to see. It's like every time somebody always getting shot, it's usually it's a young black male.
Yeah.
Even worse, sometimes it's a young black female.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But where it stems from, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of things,
Yeah.
not just one thing.
For sure.
But I can't really just like say, I can't really like listen down, but it's a multiple type of things.
I think also too, like there's this part of which I'm glad that we're on now, like mental health. I think a lot of mental health. I had a couple conversations with some friends, and like we came to the conclusion, like after, like during COVID, there was a lot of pent up like emotions, anxiety, a lot of different things, and you can only imagine for the people who don't know how to properly like process their emotions, or you know, their anxiety, their fears, their sadness, how that can really be detrimental in the streets.
Yeah.
Like we've all seen the situation happen where somebody accidentally bumps into somebody, and then next thing you know, like it's an argument, then it's a fight, and then you know it can escalate from there.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine what like pent up anxiety and fear could do to people, and it's just like you said, it's sad to see, man. It's sad to see that. Also, too, like even some of the old heads have said, like there's no rules to this now. Like there used to be rules
I
to
think
it.
it's
You know?
outdated.
Yeah,
That's just what it is. It's
Yeah.
about what rules are people obliging to now.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we used to honor certain things, like
Yeah.
women and babies were protected.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people shoot up even women and our babies. So it's
Yeah.
like, where do we draw the line? What code are y'all following? And I think that's why I just feel like the streets is. And you mentioned the old heads. The old heads. The thing about when I call somebody my old head, that means you have something I can look up to.
Yeah.
Now these old heads not even giving the young boys something to look up to.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
it's really sad.
To bring up what you said, a lot of people started calling me old heads.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm in that same boat, bro.
I went to church, somebody was like, hey,
Yeah.
Mr. Treston. I'm like, Mister. I'm not even 30 yet, relax.
Yeah.
But to pick up what you said about mental health and anxiety, so I deal with that stuff too.
Yeah.
Like I can be depressed. I have social anxiety. Like I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Like I say to myself, and that's what when people see me, that's the first thing they say, like he quiet, or he'll have that mean demeanor. Mm-hmm. But once you get to talk to me, it's like I'm a cool dude. But also dance helped me with that.
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm feeling mad or just mad about anything or depressed or anything, put some
It's
headphones
like an
in,
outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
put on some Chris Breezy, some Michael Jackson, something like that. I'm in the crib, from the kitchen to the living room, just sliding.
I'm trying to tell you, we're gonna put twinkle toes on.
You also mentioned too earlier, you know, you said you a 29-year-old man right now. I'm also 29.
Right.
And this is what I want to know from your perspective. Now, like, we're about to hit that bridge of being 30, and we're clearly seeing the kids that need guidance coming up right now. So what are some things that you're doing to reach the kids right now? Like, you got anything in motion or anything you would say, even right now in this platform, what kind of way you can reach these kids that really is struggling for somebody, like, in mentorship?
The first thing I do, I just talk to them,
Yeah.
see where their heads at. You know, try to give them any kind of advice or guidance that I can do. What is
Oh, sorry.
Some of the choice in music too is not that great.
The state of Philly for you.
But no,
You start from first thing, I just talk to them.
Yeah.
so the first thing I do is I just talk to them, see where their heads at.
Yeah.
If they help with any advice with school, relationships, or anything going at home. I was talking to a couple of kids at church.
Yeah.
They don't match them, by the way. Just put that out there. A couple of the girls that I was talking to, like they're like that 13, 15. they had a couple issues going on at home, and I was just like, just, breathe, relax, pray. Don't let it get to you because
Yeah.
it can go left real quick,
Facts.
especially with someone that's not your parent biologically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's something you said earlier that really stuck out, which was like, it's just like an epiphany too. It's like, dance is one of the things that you use as an outlet.
Right.
And it's just like, that I can only imagine how that could play a part in it as well. Whereas like how many of the kids don't really have an outlet, because I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but like some of like the parks aren't up to date anymore. They've taken the rims out. So like if we're losing parks and community centers, like where are the kids going? Where are their outlets? What can they do? Especially now too, where everybody has a viral virus. Now people are just doing dumb things for likes and views. And back, old heads used to say back in the day, like when you had a problem with somebody, it was fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? But then also too, they didn't have a million people watching them. Right? It was whoever was there at the moment. Remember how it used to be when you get back to school, you saw the fight? Like you were the reporter, right? Whereas though now, just whoever has a phone can broadcast whatever you have, whatever happens to anybody. Yeah. And I think that also plays a part of embarrassment. Plays a part in people feeling less than themselves. Then you feel as though you gotta kind of retaliate, and a lot of people now don't give the right advice to their friends.
I'll just put this out there. If you see yourself out there, you feel like you're embarrassed, just breathe and let it go.
Yeah.
People will forget about it.
Yeah.
It might be that one person like, yo, remember that what happened? Like, okay, cool, what about it?
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah. Things nowadays, every 2 weeks is something new that's happening, honestly.
And we gotta teach our men, and I wanna, this topic obviously is for everybody, but since we're all men here, I just want for the men that's listening, we just gotta teach them how to relegate their emotions, because as young as we were, think about it, we wasn't taught conflict resolution. At all. What happens when we get into arguments or is something going on with a different side? You're going to say it's on site. Yeah. Think about what that really means. Yeah. Like, there's not much communication. That's literally saying you about to embark in some type of altercation. Yeah. There's no communication grounds that really was taught. So that's why a lot of people resort to violence, is they don't know how to control their emotion. And you see a lot of people that comes from discipline too. So when you see somebody that's not disciplined at that age, think about when they get older, it's a spiral effect. That's why you see people that are in and out of jail, or they're in their 30s, or they're still doing things that's a lack of discipline. And I think that we just got to find ways to just teach our men it's okay to talk about certain things, talk it out. Like what you just said, let it go. That's a form of forgiveness. But they have to, this is something you got to be taught at a young age too, like why they're impressionable. So that way when they get older, it's easier instead of you trying to reprogram your whole mindset right now. You feel me?
I also think that we need to teach men and young men, period. Yeah. It's okay to be emotional.
Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah.
It's okay to express how you feel. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I cried at church today. Yeah. I got, some stuff that I'm dealing with back at home, and I just let it out at church. Yeah. Then I went to another church, my friend's church. I cried there too. Yeah. I respect that, man. And for sure. People embrace me. They pray with me. A lot of people don't get that because it's like they're scared to show emotion. Yeah.
No, that's facts.
That's a fact. And I commend you for even sharing that too, man. For sure. I think I think it comes to feeling safe too. Right. If men had a lot of outlets to feel safe, they would probably go there. But a lot of people are not presented that. Yeah. They never really had that, a safe space. So that's also another thing too.
I think also too, something that we need to do is just like catch it when you see it. Don't let it just linger. And what I mean by that too is like I remember it wasn't too long ago, I think last month or something, like I was playing ball, and me and my best friend were playing ball. We invited one of our young boys over, and basically as we were playing ball, this was like late at night too, because it's the only time we were available. As we were playing ball, another young boy was just like riding by and was like, "Can I play with you guys?" I was like, "Yeah, cool," because we wanted to play 2-on-2 anyway. Right. So he came in, he started playing, and he was doing a couple good moves, and I was complimenting him. The young boy that we had brought was just like, "Yo, why you eating? Why you?" I was like, "Bro, he did a great move. So he's playing amazingly. He doesn't even have to be on my team for me to be able to give him a compliment. Yeah. It shouldn't be a thing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's definitely one of the hardest things to do in Philadelphia is to get compliments.
Yeah.
You can't even tell another boy, yo, I like your shirt, I like your pants,
Don't
like your
see
shoes.
dig in.
Biggie, like, yo, Pops, why you want his man tie like that or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, my compliment.
Facts. And we gotta break that mentality.
Yeah,
You know, we
that's
gotta
crazy.
break that altogether. And I think also too, like, aside from just being compliments, it's just like as we talked about earlier, the support of businesses also.
Right.
Like, if somebody's coming up with a good idea and you really like it, like, show it, because on the other end, as a business owner, like, if we lack the that support, then it's probably not gonna go well for us. You
Yeah.
know?
That's a fact.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
people in Philly, it's hard to support people in Philly unless they're doing something that's, I guess, shown negative, but it brings in profit.
Yeah,
Like with the music nowadays.
yeah,
Like I ain't gonna say certain artists or whatever, but it's like it's like they talk it, but they're not really about it.
yeah.
And then they get caught up in that mess, and then next thing you know, another man down.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, we've seen that with
I've seen it all
Baby. You've seen that with a lot of different artists.
All over.
It's just it's really sad, man. It's sad to see. It's really sad to see. Well, besides like the sadness and of it all, like what are certain things that you would inspire for our city to become or to have or to grow from? Like a better version of Philly. What does that seem like to you?
I would say, for starters, I would just say be more respectful.
Yeah.
Like, don't just walk out there thinking everybody's against you. Find your people.
Yeah.
Find your crowd. Once you find your people, find your crowd, you're good. Because the people in the crowd, your crowd gonna get bigger and bigger
Right.
once you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. That's a start.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can feel that.
Yeah, for sure.
And even with, I knew that was coming. First time they happened to me today. I was undefeated too.
We had high hopes for you.
Even when
Even with that being said, right now, where do you?
even with that being said,
Even with that being said, now let's take a look at the future right now. A lot of people, when they do start to accumulate success, for one reason or another, they tend to leave Philly
Right.
and go elsewhere. So are you in the mind frame of the same thing? Do you see yourself staying here? Do you think you gotta go elsewhere to be able to really grow to the capacity you need to, or you like the space you're in and you want to just stick it out and really try to make your way in Philly and leave your mark here?
That's a good question. So, what I would want to do with my brand, I would like to see a change in Philly before I decide to be like, okay, it's time to go.
Okay.
Because I feel like you can grow no matter where you at. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Like,
grass
you
is
know,
greener.
I feel like
Yeah.
people they're just afraid. So like the first thing they do is go.
Yeah.
Once you get that first taste of money, that first taste of success, it's like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like the same things are still happening in Philadelphia. The killings, the violence.
Yeah.
It's like we can't change nothing. If the first thing y'all want to do, once y'all get your little fame, your little money, is up and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still stuff that needs to be done here.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what needs to be done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely seen it happen both ways, where people have left, and it boded well for them. But then I've also seen it happen where people had left and then they end up coming right back.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of what you just kind of was saying. It was like you can grow anywhere, but then I believe that the grass is greener wherever you water it.
Right.
And if you're trying to
Yeah.
run away from something that you're not doing here, it's still going to be the same issue later on. I would say also too is that to the question, I think it's the best of both worlds. Because like even my personal journey, right, as being a host and MC, like I didn't start really getting as much love until after I started taking bookings outside of Philly.
Right.
But it's not to say that like now I only take bookings outside of Philly, whereas though it's allowed me to, it kind of give me a reset essentially. It revitalized me to know that I do have a crowd that really appreciates me and my content and what I do. Now that I have that confirmation that they're out there. Let me figure out where they are within my city, because maybe I'm just around the wrong people. And I think probably that's a lot of people, that they're just hanging around people who are just not supportive, and they're not doing the things that they need to do to attract the ones that will support them.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you do see like like the underground arts community, bro, they are deep. You know, the art shows that they do, the talent shows that they do, and it's really watching them constantly like interact with each other, and just you see them walk in the room, it's like everybody know each other, and you just the oddball out. So it's definitely here. It's just, you know, you gotta attract the right people, be around the right people.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. You know, I want to thank you again, bro, for
I
really even
appreciate
taking
you.
your time and coming to spread light on this conversation. I want to end things a little different with you.
Okay.
I'm throw a little. Never did this on the show yet, but with your journey in Philly, I want you to just use one word to describe it. If someone were to ask Sham or ask myself, like, what's Philly mean to you? What is that word that come to mind? You can only use one word. What would you say?
Adventurous.
Adventurous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And on that note too, Sha, how about you? You gotta throw that one word too.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yeah. What about you? Because we're not gonna leave it without you saying something.
Damn, I ain't expecting to come back to that. I would probably say gritty, but I don't mean that in a negative connotation. I just feel like that grit that we tend to have and show with our work ethic, that has a lot to do with the environment that we came out of too.
Yeah.
So I think the word gritty. But thank you again, like I said, on behalf of myself, Shama, and the team at large, we appreciate you for coming here.
My guy.
You know, conversations like this, we may not have all the answers, but just pushing it forward is bringing us one step closer to the solution. So
Right.
thank you so much. And for all the viewers that's watching, we want to thank you guys for constantly tuning in. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Nice. My guy, how you feeling?
That's your debut.